So the trick to making good videos is before you do anything else, before you start shooting, you have a good idea and a plan ready to go. Anytime I didn't follow that advice and went into videos just kind of wanting to wing it, it was a complete and utter failure, and I don't think there was a single time I was ever happy with what I had created. So consider this part 1 of ungatekeeping my creative process. Today's episode is all about pre-production. Now, I understand that word is not as cool as the top 5 ways to make your videos more cinematic. But the matter of fact is, if you don't get this part of the process right, the rest that follows probably isn't gonna be that good. So this creative process can be broken down into 2 parts, ideas and scripting. But to explain the ideas part, we need to go somewhere that's a little bit special to me. So let's do that. So here's the lowdown. If you don't have ideas, well, you can't really make videos. And to get ideas, you of course need inspiration. That's why I've come here, because this was this place that I think inspired my first ever creative project. This place is called Cockatoo Island. It's a super industrial spot that really helped push me to do my first ever photo shoot. Now, that was not good by any means, but it was the start of me learning all about this creative process and how it all works. Now, we all find inspiration in a lot of different places, especially for those of us who are in different walks of life. But some of the ones that I've found super helpful are just really simple. Stuff like movies, books, places, and my favorite, music. Because music, it just hits different, man. So, as you can see, songs can give so much emotion, both in your videos and when you're writing them. In terms of my kind of process, what I love to do is when I'm trying to convey feelings or figure out what I even want the stuff to feel like, I'll just play a ton of different kinds of music with varying kind of energies, and those will just start to, have these little sparks fly off inside my brain. Hold up, let me get to the top of these stairs. Sometimes to get inspiration though, you just need somewhere quiet and peaceful. Because the reality is, and I've learnt this the hard way quite a bit over the last 6 months, if you're always doing stuff, your brain doesn't have time to be creative, so you can't always be working. Even if that's working on your projects, you need to take that time to step away. And for me, it kind of varies what that is. Sometimes that'll be running, sometimes it'll be days like this where I just come out to an area and just sit down and journal for a while. But whatever it is, you need to give your brain space to think and to process stuff. It may never feel very productive, but that's why we always get our best ideas in the shower, because you can't really think about much when you're in the shower, right? I gotta walk back down these stairs now. And the most important thing when you get those ideas is write them down. It doesn't matter what you think about them, whether you think they're good, bad, or the best idea on the planet. You write them down with whatever you can. So that could be sticky notes, your phone, heck, you could even scroll it on a fridge with a piece of metal. I really don't care how you write these things down, so long as you capture them. Because if you don't capture those ideas in that instance that you have them, most likelihood is you're gonna forget them. So then at the end of the week or the month, whenever you wanna do it, you can take all those ideas that are spread across probably way too many mediums, condense them down and put them into one central spot. For me, I've made that into Notion because it just works the best. And I'll talk more about how that works later, but that way when I wanna make something, I can go look through my back catalog and be like, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. And sometimes I will go through those videos and cull the ones that are less than ideal, but generally I like to leave them all in there because you never know when one bad idea can inspire a good one. So once you've got that idea that you know you want to pursue head on, then it's time to get into the scripting, which is one of the most fun bits of this, where you get to build the video. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't usually do my scripting in a big metal warehouse, so I'll see you guys in a hot sec when I'm back in my room, you know?
Hat's about to fall off, and this angle feels kind of weird, but we're just going to run with it anyway. So with scripting, you can kind of do this wherever you want, in whatever medium you want to. As long as you can get your ideas down in a way that you understand, that's all you need to do, because most of us are solo creators at this point, so we don't need to communicate ideas with anyone else. Now, for me, that generally looks like having all my stuff in Notion, at least as the final version of that script, when I'm looking to reference something while I'm shooting. Before that, sometimes it'll also be in like a bit of paper or like in my notes app, but it'll always end up in Notion. I've built a little system for myself, and sure, it's not perfect by any means, but it works well enough for me. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Now, this process of how I actually write my scripts has changed so much, especially in the past few months, because I used to write every single word down that I was actually going to say in a video, and everything was planned out. Every single shot, every single music beat, sound effect, everything like that was planned before I even went in to start shooting it. The issue I found with that, though, is that I wasn't able to be myself as well on camera. And I've spoken about this in other videos, so I'm not going to go into great detail. But long story short is I was writing this other version of me, and there were parts of me, like, you know, the silly little goofy side that I sometimes have, that didn't really come out in those videos. And so I've found that I prefer to do a more like rough structure that kind of has the flow and the feeling of the video that I want, rather than trying to nail down every single shot, every single line before I actually go out and shoot. If I was to ever do a short film, yeah, I would definitely write everything beforehand. But for me, making my little YouTube videos, it's a very different process. I think to help you understand how my scripting process actually works, I'm going to quickly run you through the intro to one of my videos, and I'll also show you how to install that Notion template as well. So let's go do that. So first things first, let's show you how to install that Notion template. And it's free, so you may as well use it. So when you get a template, it's going to be a link. So just open that up in your web browser. So when you open up the link, there's going to be two sections. One is just purely a list of all the different video ideas and ones you have in progress. And the other one is a content calendar, which is going to be auto-populated when you actually add publish dates to any of the videos. They'll show up in that calendar. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, all you need to do is head up to the right-hand corner and there's a little duplicate button. If you hit that, you just need to sign in with your Notion account, and it will add this like workspace into whatever one you want in Notion. And then you're ready to go. You can start filling it out with all your different ideas. Before I get to the script though, I'm just going to quickly explain the different sections to this. It's not crazy complicated, but I'll just show you how it works. So when you go to start a new project, obviously you go new item, and then you just open that up. Now, I've created a little template for my YouTube videos. You could probably also use this for short form stuff. You might just not need all the different parts to it. So you click on that template and it's going to auto-populate a bunch of stuff. Now, there's kind of three properties that each project has. One is the status, so you can do basically anything from an idea all the way to being finished. Next one is the publish date, and then finally is the topic. These ones are topics that I use for my videos, but you can always delete these, change them to suit whatever stuff you're creating. Because say you might be doing cooking, and that's clearly not one of the options. Now, this is actually in reverse for how I would usually work on it. I usually start with the notes and the script. Now, the notes page is just a blank page for you to be able to put all your thoughts, ideas, research, anything that relates to the video, but isn't actually going to be part of the script. And then the script is just what you want to have in the video itself. You then also have a section for your description for your YouTube video, and then also I like to usually brainstorm a couple of titles, and I've got a separate page even for your thumbnail ideas. So that might be like sketches, like you might generate some stuff, you might do some stuff in Photoshop, you can throw it all here. The kind of way I like to use this is each project in Notion is like a little container that holds all the information about that video. So if I'm out shooting, if I'm working on another person's computer, I can always access that information so long as I have internet access. To make things simple, I'm going to go through the start of the script for this video because I think it balances both the side of trying to be authentic and also still scripting stuff so that I can get actually like good visuals that I'm happy with. But we're going to start here at the top and just talk about that intro where I was at the gardens, and hopefully this is helpful. So all of my videos pretty much always start with a piece of music. Now, I might also be talking at the same time as that music, but that song is really essential for setting the mood of the video. And I will figure that out before I usually write the rest of the video, because it's the kind of entry point into this world that the viewer's going to see. And I'll just put that as a link at the top, so when I go back and film or I'm writing, I can play that song and kind of know what the vibe and emotion is that I'm feeling. Now with my scripts, I shot list everything. I don't do a single storyboard. And then I also write the stuff that I want to say. So with my shot lists, I like to write them in italics. So you can kind of see here, this first shot is the Magic Arm shot where it like pulls the iPhone out of the bag. But then you go through, I've got a shot extending the leg, blah, blah. Sit down, ready to talk, and then here is kind of where we get into the first words of the piece. Now, generally, the intro to these videos are super important because you want it to be nice and snappy and kind of hit the audience with crucial information and not faff around too much. If you want to kind of talk at length, that's for later in the video once you've sold them on why they should actually be watching this. So that's why this bit I have written basically what I'm going to say in the actual video. And then after we've finished this intro, we then move into the more kind of fluid part of me talking. So as you can see, I've written super wide shot, and then I've just got 2 dot points. And so when I get to there, I know that I want to say, without ideas, you don't have a video, and to get ideas, you need inspiration. I do find that sometimes I will, as I'm doing in this video, just kind of talk and talk and talk, but I do really try and stick to those key ideas because that's at the end of the day what I want you, the viewer, to take away from this. And once you finish scripting, then it's time to go shoot. That, however, is going to be the topic for another day. So I'll see you guys in that one.